is indeed our privilege and pleasure to welcome you to the second edition of the Wi-Fi India Summit 2016. This time in Mumbai after a successful first edition in Delhi earlier this year. We request you to please switch off your mobile phones or keep them on silent mode for the duration of the event and remain seated. Thank you. I would like to invite Mr. Zahid Mir, Director Vostad, and your host for the day to initiate proceedings. Please give him a round of applause for putting together this wonderful event.
Thank you, Divya. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mumbai edition of Wi-Fi India Summit, which is co-hosted by Ruckus and Brocade, two giants from the Wi-Fi world, who are now working together in a fantastic joint venture. In this day and age, network is everything, be it from the point of view of business contacts or being connected by technology. The right network is a step towards progress and growth. It helps you utilize untapped potential and give you the power of communication. Our humble attempt with Wi-Fi India Summit is to bring together the complete Wi-Fi ecosystem to network as well as discuss the unique needs and the tremendous growth of the Wi-Fi in India. So we have a power-packed day ahead with presentations from the experts and interactive panel discussions. We hope by the end of this day, each one of you goes back with something valuable. I would like again to welcome our co-host Ruckus and Brocade, our gold partners in Capto Wi-Fi, Spirent Communications and Extreme Networks, our esteemed speakers, and each one of you present here to the only Wi-Fi summit in India. So without further ado, let's begin. Our first presentation of the day is by Mr. Arvind Kumar, advisor, NSL, Network Spectrum and Licensing at Telecommunication Regulatory Authority of India. Shri Arvind Kumar is a MTech degree holder from Institute of Technology, BHU, Varanasi. Presently, he is working as advisor broadband and policy analysis and advises authority on various issues related to interconnection charges and broadband at the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. And he will be presenting a consultation paper by TRAI on proliferation of broadband through public Wi-Fi. Please give him a warm welcome.
How to operate it. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for arranging this Wi-Fi summit. I feel very privileged and proud to be part of this summit. Generally, I think they are disconnect, and I can see here number of people who are working with Wi-Fi, and we also used to organize number of workshop conferences, but gathering is entirely different. I mean, delegates are entirely different. This means there is really a disconnect between who are actually working on technologies and those who are working in policy. I mean, I must thank this Vostad to call regulator and those who are participating in policy for the summit, so that at least we can bridge that difference which is existing today. Now, Wi-Fi is not why Wi-Fi is now when it is and how soon we can have. This we realize as a TRAI that there is a need to have something to be done especially for Wi-Fi. We have a very big licensing regime for telecom network, very complicated and complex licensing regime for this country. And there are number of issues which is, I can say, which could be responsible for not getting Wi-Fi to everybody in this country. I mean, this is, and in this line, our authority thought, yes, we must issue a consultation paper. We want to look something, creating a STD booth type of the revolution for the Wi-Fi also, which means anybody can provide Wi-Fi. Today, if you want to provide the Wi-Fi services, you must have an ISP license, which is too complex. Without license, if you want to provide the Wi-Fi services, this will be treated as you are reselling the data. And reselling of data in this country is not allowed, which means you are in the violation of Indian Telegraph Act, TRAI Act, number of acts exist in this country. Keeping this in mind, we thought we must think out of box. And when you are in Delhi, you are within a box. So if you really want to think something out of box, you must leave Delhi. This is one thing which I am sure. In this regard, we have also organized a workshop in Bangalore, not in Delhi, so that we can talk to startup companies, those who think differently than we have become like a box. So we can't think out of box. This Wi-Fi summit in Mumbai actually a most welcome step. Here we have number of vendors who are working on Wi-Fi routers and all. I think this will be very fruitful, at least for me. I will definitely take some, there will be some takeaway for me also from this workshop, which could become part of the policy making for this country. We issued a consultation paper. Those who are not, I can understand there may be number of people who are not familiar what is TRAI. We are telecom regulator. Telecom Regulatory Authority of India is a telecom regulator of this country. We have number of powers to do for this country, number of things has to be done by the TRAI. We have two types of the power, which is what is called, we have licensing, we have recommendatory power and we have a regulatory power. So recommendation, we give recommendation to the government of India for issuing a new license, prescribing term and condition of the license, allocation of the spectrum, liberalization of the spectrum, anything which is related to licensing in spectrum, we used to give recommendation to the government of India, and government of India accordingly issues the policy, directions, guidelines or licenses. This is one power which TRAI has. Apart from the recommendatory power, we also have something which is called prescriptive power or regulatory power, wherein we prescribe the regulations. We make the regulation and then it becomes law for this country. Those powers are like tariff, we determine the tariff. We have absolute power on quality of service, we have absolute power on interconnection, and we have absolute power on tariff. So we are telecom regulator. We are integral part of policy making for this country in the telecom sector, which includes, of course, Wi-Fi. We issued a consultation paper on 13th July 2016. So when we make any policy, either recommendations or regulation, we follow very transparent process. We issue a consultation paper wherein anybody can respond. Individual, organization, vendors, association, anybody can respond. Then we hold an open house discussion on this. Open house discussion, anybody can participate, anybody can come. Any Indian citizen is allowed to come. On the basis of written submission, comments, counter comments, and open house discussion, we frame our recommendations. And those recommendations goes to the government of India. If something is available to TRAI in their TRAI Act power, we issue the directions, we issue the regulations. If something is to be done by the policy maker, which is Department of Telecommunication, then we used to give the recommendation to the government of India. This is the way we work. So in this series, this consultation paper absolutely exclusively on Wi-Fi, because we realize the importance of Wi-Fi. If we really want to fulfill the dream of digital India, in fact Wi-Fi is the solution. This our chairman has realized in the beginning of his tenure in the TRAI. And he always keeps saying, if you really want to make digital India, then you must work on Wi-Fi. This is the solution. This is actually only the solution. But this Wi-Fi should come out of this complex, complicated, non-workable licensing regime of this country. So we want to make a good policy by which this Wi-Fi take off in this country. We issued consultation paper on 13th July. We received comments, counter comments. We received good response, 60 comments, 7 counter comments. And these all has been put on website. If you want to see the comments, counter comments, you can go to our website and can see. This paper, so first I am on the paper, what this paper contains and what is our intention to put all those things together. This paper, because you all are technical people, you understand, I think this diagram is obvious for you people. It is just how this Wi-Fi network is connected to the telecom service providers core network. Any hotspot, we want to create as much as hotspot as possible in this country. Even our basic target is, if you go to a kirana shop or you want to pay through Paytm or any instrument, just for the sake of the name, today he has some machine by which he can swipe your credit card. Tomorrow he must have a router. He provide you the Wi-Fi connection and you can do whatever you want to do. You can pay, you can make electronic payment too. This anybody can provide. It's like solar grid. Anybody can contribute to the power. Anybody can contribute this whole Wi-Fi architecture, whole Wi-Fi thing of this country. This is final vision. We may not reach to this vision in a first stop, but yes, we want to reach to this vision. Anybody can provide Wi-Fi to anybody in this country. No licensing regime, no restriction on data resale. It should be as open as possible. Then we put some, what is the current status of public Wi-Fi. This